Dear students, welcome to 9th standard English class. Today, in this class, I am going to take supplementary reading Aruna Asaf Ali, the Great Patriot. Dear students, do you know who is Aruna Asaf Ali? She was a great woman freedom fighter of India. Come to the lesson. Known as the Grand Old Lady of the Independence Movement, Aruna Asaf Ali was a fairy leader who plunged headlong into politics at a time when the freedom struggle was raging and the youth were laying down their lives for the country's independence. So, Aruna Asaf Ali was well known as the Grand Old Lady of the independent India. She was a fairy leader. When she entered the politics in that time, the freedom struggle was raging and youth were laying down their lives for the country's independence in our India. Born into an Orthodox Hindu Bengali family in 1909 at Kalka in Haryana, Aruna broke conventions at the age of 19 to marry Asaf Ali, a prominent figure in the freedom struggle and 20 years her senior. She was born in an Orthodox Hindu Bengali family in 1909 at Kalka in Haryana. So she broke the conventions in the age of 19. She married Asaf Ali. He was a prominent figure in the freedom struggle. This is a picture of Asaf Ali. And 20 years her senior. Her marriage brought her face to face with the freedom struggle and social service which she pursued throughout her life. So after her marriage, she entered into the freedom struggle and she brought her face to face with the freedom struggle and also the social service she pursued throughout her life. Aruna Asaf Ali's first major political involvement was during the Salt Satyagraha, when she addressed public meetings and led the processions. This is the first involvement in the freedom struggle while Salt Satyagraha. So she addressed the public meetings and led the processions in that time. She was prosecuted in Delhi, and on her refusal to punish security for good behavior was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment. Because of that, she arrested in that time and she got 1 year imprisonment. A few months later, what happened? The most of the political prisoners were being released, but she was not released until a public agitation was launched in her support. In 1932, she was again arrested and put in the Delhi jail, where she went on a hunger strike to protest against the callous treatment of the political prisoners. So because of the freedom struggle, again she was arrested in the year 1932 and put in the Delhi jail, where she went on a hunger strike because of the reason to protest against the callous treatment of the political prisoners in that jail. Her demands were conceded, but she was transferred to Ambala jail from there, and where she was kept in solitary confinement. So what happened? She transferred to Ambala jail from Delhi jail, and she was alone in that prison. After her release, she stayed away from the movement for 10 years. After the release from the Ambala jail, she stayed away for 10 years. Something significant happened in 1942. She attended the Bombay Congress session along with her husband, during which the Quit India resolution was passed on 8th August. So what happened? In the year 1942, she attended the Bombay Congress session along with her husband. During the Quit India resolution was passed in the day of 8th August. The committee had planned to hoist the tricolor flag at the Gavalia Tank Maidan. This is a picture of Gavalia Tank Maidan. In that place, the Congress committee decided to hoist our tricolor flag, our national flag, in that place. So, but the British got the wind of the plan and arrested the top leaders, including Mahatma Gandhi ji, a few hours before the event. But they decided to hoist the tricolor flag in Gavalia Tank Maidan. But the British got the wind of the plan and they arrested most of the leaders. In that time, the Mahatma Gandhi ji was also there in that team. What followed is best described in her own words. She described in her own words that my husband and I were not in the least surprised. So they did not surprised by that, because already they know police will come and arrest them. When in the early hours of August 9th, the police knocked on the door of the flat where we were staying. When they announced Asaf Sahib's arrest and asked, "What about me?" So the police knocked the door of the flat where they were staying in that time, and they announced the arrest of her husband Asaf Sahib. And she asked the police, "What about me?" But the police replied that there was no warrant for her. I persuaded the British sergeant who had come in a taxi with a couple of policemen to let me accompany them to the railway station to see of my husband. So what happened? In the taxi, she requested them to go with accompany with them to the railway station with her husband. Dawn was about to break and there was a cordon around Victoria Terminus to keep crowds at the bay. So what happened? It was the time of early morning, sunrise time, dawn time, and the cordon means barricade. It was put around in the Victoria Terminus to keep crowd, to control the people in that place. The police put the barricade, means a cordon. And as I walked along the platform, while she was walking along the platform, she saw Maulana Azad sitting at a window. This is a picture of Maulana Azad. He was sitting at the window in a compartment of the special train and stopped to talk to him. As Congress president, he was to unfold the tricolor at a public gathering at Gavalia Tank Maidan at 8 a.m. I made up my mind on an impulse. I am going there. So what happened? She stopped in that platform while she was walking, because she saw Maulana Azad was sitting at the train in a special compartment. He was a Congress president and he was going to unfurl or hoist the tricolor flag or our national flag in the Gavalia Tank Maidan at 8 a.m. So she set her mind to go there. This decision to stand in for Maulana Azad was a beginning of a chapter of heroism and unrest in the life of Aruna Asaf Ali. Her narrative proceeds. So she narrated that words: Bulabai Desai's son Dhirubhai had come to the railway station and he drove me in his car to the Maidan. So what happened? Bulabai Desai's son Dhirubhai had came to pick her by the car, and they went to that Maidan. The meeting was declared illegal under the section 144, and a white-skinned sergeant gave 2 minutes for the crowd to disperse in that place. And I quickly, Aruna Asaf Ali quickly scrambled up to the dais and announced to the people the arrest of the leaders. Quickly she went on the dais and she announced about the people who arrested by the police. The most of the Congress leaders were there in that time, and pulled the cord to hoist the national flag. Hardly had the flag been unfurled when the police lobbed tear gas shells into the crowd. So what happened when she unfurled that national flag? The police came and lobbed tear gas shells into the crowd of the people. And the men and women ran helter-skelter with tears streaming down their cheeks. So what happened? Because of that tear gas, the people, the men and also the women, they ran helter-skelter with the tears. So the experience of that morning made me decided that I would not again tamely enter jail by offering satyagraha. Because of that experience of the Gavalia Tank Maidan, the morning time, she decided to not to attend any satyagraha and not to she did not want to enter jail again because of the offering satyagrahas. What she did? Aruna's act of defiance on August 9th virtually marked the start of the Quit India movement. So that is the time she started. August 9th, they start the Quit India movement. She now became a full-time activist in the movement, eventually going underground. So what happened? She started to do the freedom struggle, that movement by underground to avoid being arrested. She became the editor of the Inquilab, the monthly magazine for the Congress, along with Ram Manohar Lohia. So again she started to edit the news magazine. It is a monthly magazine named Inquilab, along with Ram Manohar Lohia. In the 1944 issue of magazine, she advised freedom fighters not to allow any academic arguments on questions like violence and non-violence to divert attention from the stern realities of the day. I want every student and youth to think and feel as soldiers of the nation that is to come. So through that magazines, she sent so many messages to our people and the youth and also the students, that she said that I want every student and youth to think and feel that as soldiers of the nation. Like that she gave messages to all students and the youth of India. In the meantime, the government announced a reward of rupees 5,000 for her capture. In that time, what happened? The government announced that to give a prize, a reward, 5,000 rupees to catch her. But she became ill, and on hearing this, Gandhiji advised her to surrender. So by underground activity, she became every day by day became ill. Because of that reason, Mahatma Gandhiji advised her to surrender the government. I have sent you a message that you must not die underground. Mahatma Gandhiji suggested her to not to die in the underground. You are reduced to a skeleton. She became very weak by that activities, that movement. Do come out and surrender yourself and take the prize offered for your arrest. So he advised her to surrender herself to the government and take that prize of 5,000 rupees and reserve that prize money for the great Indian cause, like that. These are the advice or the suggestions given by the Mahatma Gandhiji to the Aruna Asaf Ali. She was in underground. However, Aruna surrendered only when the warrants for her arrest were cancelled on 26 January 1946. So what happened? She did not did not surrender by that time. Later, when she surrendered 26 January 1946, after her arrest warrant were cancelled. After India attained independence, Aruna Asaf Ali turned to social work and helped to establish the National Federation of Indian Movement in 1954. After we got independence in 1947, Aruna Asaf Ali turned to social works and helped to establish the National Federation of Indian Women, okay, in the 1954. In 1992, she was awarded the Nehru Award for International Understanding. In the year of 1992, she got award of Nehru Award because of international understanding. She breathed her last in July 1996. So she passed away in the year 1996. The country honored her with its highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna, posthumously. After her death, our country honored her the highest civilian award. It is the Bharat Ratna posthumously. This is the lesson about Aruna Asaf Ali. Dear students, I hope you all got this. Thank you.